others.
Well, look how many are back tackling. I mean, Roy Keane, there was 3 defenders all homed in, and he'd already beaten 2 players. I mean, I think that is the difference at the moment between the 2 sides.
Seen by Redknapp. Good strike. Hit that really well, but it flew absolutely straight to Peter Schmeichel. Saw it early, had the opportunity, didn't hesitate. Cantona.
I'd say Liverpool have joined their best spell of the match, probably not difficult. Manchester, although they've had a bit of possession, that man there, Paul Scholes, might feel that he's got better chance to come on because there's an attacking force in the second half. They haven't really figured that much, and perhaps that Andy Cole change would be the obvious one if Alex Ferguson feels that his side aren't doing enough going forward.
Free kick. The player brought down in the end. And Scholes has clearly been told that his chance is nigh. But for all the world then is he was about to be arrested. Here's Redknapp. McAteer. Redknapp, McManaman, back court, McManaman, corner.
Nicky Butt getting choked off by Roy Keane there, about getting called in possession by Jamie Redknapp. That was nearly very, very costly.
Been a long time in coming, but this is a period of a Liverpool threat. Redknapp, Scales at the back. Well, the substitution is imminent. And Andy Cole is already walking towards the touchline, and one has some sympathy for him. The chances he had at the start of the match, he wasn't able to use, and he's seen very little of the ball in the second half. He'll be a very lonely man as he sits on the bench. Paul Scholes, another youngster brought into the action. He was in the youth side in '93. '92 was the side captained by Giggs, and the Nevilles and Beckham and Butt were in both. It's the basis of this arrival of the youngsters at Old Trafford. Liverpool currently in the final of the Youth Cup and have a lead against West Ham United. Neville. Make a point in passing that Alex Ferguson and Jimmy Hill are on exactly the same wavelength. Substitution suggested has been made, but around the right time. Seen by Keane. Scholes. Beckham. Straight to Keane. I believe the ball's been given away so often. Neville. Well ahead of his man was Rob Jones. Barnes. McManaman. McAteer. Near post is Collymore. McManaman. Turned He's coming to help Collymore. Barnes wants it diagonally, number 10 here. Babb sent several letters.
Great challenge again by Glenn Scales, because it was a 4 against 3. Andy called it. Cole, watching the action, you have to feel sympathy for him, because we know he hasn't had the best of seasons. Opportunity given in the starting lineup today to become the hero. There he is, taken off, and desperately wanted to play well in an FA Cup final.
It might have been significant that he scored with his first touch at Middlesbrough on Sunday. That was his strength when he didn't think. Maybe a more all-round player, but his predatory instinct seems to have left him for the moment. By David May. McAteer. Redknapp. Well, presumably he thought there was going to be a diagonal run, but it would have had to have been of greyhound proportions. It would seem that the occasion of a cup final drains even the best. It's often been the case, to tell the truth. Here's Fowler. McManaman, Collymore, Barnes. Forced through the challenge by Scholes. Too short. Well, it was taken and is very well claimed.
Got a cross, and it just would have gone beyond Schmeichel. Stan Collymore, see him at the far post. Could have been offside when the ball was played, but didn't matter. Goalkeeper claimed it, but definitely in the ascendancy for Liverpool at the moment.
McAteer, seen a lot of the ball. And the timing there is sufficiently awry for a further yellow card. He's a better player than this challenge. Wave with the right. And oh dear.
I think it had to be a yellow card, didn't it, after Jamie Redknapp and Phil Babb. Similar type of tackles, and so that's 2-1 on that score, but we can't get one in the back of the net somewhere.
It's not only that, the quality that we're being offered is so poor from players who are far better than what they're showing us here. I mean, the field is full of international players, and players, young players of great promise. But the occasion seems to be denying either group, showing us what they're capable of. McAteer. Minutes of the normal 90 remaining. Collymore coming to the near post again. Fowler behind him. Poor cross. Well, there has always been at least one goal in the cup final at Wembley. This is the 68th final that we played here. George Much left it late. Free kick. penalty for Preston North End against Huddersfield Town, 38. Here in 1996, number 23 is Philip Neville. Good run by Scholes. James always the favourite.
A sense of air of frustration, don't you, about the supporters? They're so bemused, I think, at the inability of either side at the moment to really create openings and look as if they're going to create openings, let alone score the goal. And it has been, when you think, as you said, the top goal scorers in the Premiership, and we had such poor quality in attacking the play. Not a good sign. Terry Venables, as we saw earlier, sitting up there thinking about Euro 96, who might, in either of these sides, get in his lineup.
Collymore just gets away from David May. Nobody to pull it back to. They'd all gone to the left side. There was no one on the right side at all. Here's McManaman. There is another cross that he will look back upon with regret.
I mean, in the Premiership, week in and week out, he puts in early pacey crosses, which, I mean, Newcastle will be testimony to that in that thrilling game. 4-3 against them. He really did put some testing crosses in, yet today it's just gone all haywire, and at the moment you just wonder where we're going to get the quality pass to give us an opening for a goal.
McManaman. Fowler. Changed his mind, Bab. Got back a long way to keep possession here. Robbie Jones. Goal kick. The imminent arrival of a Liverpool legend. Played by Giggs. Cantona. Picked out the widest man, Irwin. Irwin again, off balance when he crossed, but he finds Cantona out by right. The Fowler did well to get in front of his man. And the free kick is given. And the 670th appearance in a Liverpool shirt of Ian Rush is about to take place. And listen to the welcome he's being given. So far, it's been a disappointing story, and now particularly for Stan Collymore, the man he's replaced. Is there to be an ending which will give us a final to remember?
I wouldn't rule it out, would you? But I mean, it's a straight swap, isn't it? Rush coming on for Collymore. I mean, when they go a goal behind, Liverpool then playing the three of them up there, and I just wondered whether Evans might decide to go more positively and look for the win, but it's a straight swap.
Giggs, Neville, but May. Keane and Scholes forward. Cantona's gone out to the right. This is Butt. Plenty of time for Pallister. Giggs. But ball being worked around. Free weight for United in the area. And the header was from Keane. Scholes with no real chance of getting on the end of it. McManaman. He waited a long time for his first touch here in Rush. Comes now. Ball and Gary Pallister almost at the same time. Scales, nice touch. If he intended it. Rush again, given the ball and Pallister at the same time. Scholes. Keane. Didn't quite intend that. Ball back by Rush for Liverpool. Good play in Rush. Even got a wall pass with Neville. Free kick is given for an unnecessary challenge, really, on Beckham in that position. Queue forming in the middle. Keane and David May part of it. Cantona just right at the penalty spot. Pallister up as well. And really just left Neville back in the centre circle, where he's joined by Peter Schmeichel. Curled in. And again, taken in simple stride by safe hands. And well for Redknapp. Well, they could have welcomed Ian Rush by saying this is his last appearance for Liverpool, but the way this game is going, you never know. Extra time will follow, 90 if needed, and then of course the replay next Thursday. Scales, Barnes. Scales rather tipping things against himself. Met by Owen. Redknapp with a space for Barnes. Didn't move into it, played it early instead. Here's Fowler. McAteer, Rush far side. Came on as a sub against Everton and scored twice and decided the final. Waiting now in the centre. Redknapp, blocked by Keane. Cantona. Giggs. No one right side, but he might go alone. Cantona looking for the cross. Giggs. Good run, just didn't quite work at the end. When there were a couple of options, just too far away from Scholes, and Cantona left as a spectator. Fowler. Jones. Rush on the edge of the areas, comes short for it. Not too many successful trying to find Peter Schmeichel off his line. He's such a big presence.
At the moment it's been one of those days, hasn't it, for Robbie Fowler? On his weaker right foot, but never threatening, never called it properly. Because now with Stan Collymore off, they have lost one of their players, McManaman. They're about the only two that actually take on defenders in their side, and Ian Rush, very much like Robbie Fowler, a finisher. And so that sort of almost cuts down their options unless they get some good supply.
Barnes. Fowler. This is McManaman. Well, I can only say that the disorganisation at the start set the pattern. There it has remained. I mean, to look at it again is almost unfair to a player of McAteer's quality. 8 minutes of the 90 left. Given away by Schmeichel. McManaman. One assumes that Peter Schmeichel got bored then. Babb. Barnes. Babb. One instead by Cantona. Keane. For the team looking for the double-double. Mount on the edge of the 18-yard area. Babb couldn't get to it because Mr. Gallagher was in his way. Here's Butt again. Cantona! Who next? Mark Wright. Now McManaman. Off Keane. Barnes. Giggs with time to find Philip Neville. Fowler. Beckham just staying with him. Rush is in the middle. McManaman on the edge of the 18-yard area, seen by May. It's a poor ball from Neville. It's a second chance to do better. Only Butt's determination and the fact that McManaman took his eye off the ball won it for United. And here is Butts. Away by Babb. Puff of the cheeks from Phil Babb. Hope rising for Manchester United supporters. Scholes in the 6-yard area, 5 behind. James gets there just first. Cantona! to be a memorable end to a poor cup final. James didn't quite get there, punched down, but how he balanced his body to strike it truly through the crowd. Eric Cantona.
Well, it's a mistake, unfortunately, David James not getting there. Coming off Ian Rush, it's a great volley, but look, why couldn't anyone get their body or their head there? And the reaction there, look, says it all. And Alex Ferguson, it's the sharpest I've seen him this season, I must say, off the bench. But it was almost a surprise, wasn't it, to get the goal.
Here is McAteer. Met by Keane, who's really tidied things in the second half and does so again. He's won a lot of balls in the middle and defensively. Here's Michael Thomas getting a touch while the goal was being celebrated. Roy Evans brought him on in place of Rob Jones. And it's the ooh-ah song going around in praise of a Frenchman. For him, joy upon joy. Another championship for him this season, after one that went away last. And now it looks like the cup too. McManaman. McManaman. Robbed by Keane, well played. He was at odds with the world at the beginning, Roy Keane, but he's had a really good second half. McAteer it was. Appeal for hands, I can only assume.
Amazing finish, isn't it, to the season, really, to Eric Cantona. Gary Neville coming on defensively, no doubt Manchester just going to tighten it up the last minute or two. But Liverpool, of course, could have done with staying Collymore on now. They've made the substitution rush for Collymore. Normally when they go behind, they do then play the three of them up. Michael Thomas, though, in midfield has come on. Well, probably Manchester would deserve it for the first half performance, but you have to say it has been a poor match, hasn't it?
Well, I reckon that Eric Cantona's goals, winning goals and equalising goals, have been worth 21 points in the championship battle. And now it would seem he's got the decisive goal in the FA Cup final. Here's Thomas, won by Scholes. We're into the last minute of the match. And here's the man in possession of everything at the moment. Ooh, loses possession. And Keane is around to win it back.
Well,
so
I think
the case.
A timely moment perhaps to come in on the Littlewood's man of the match, really, in the last minute, because I think that man there has been quite outstanding. His hard work, and you know, in the second half in particular, some of the tackles he's made, he's got forward to support his front men, he's been there defensively. And in the first half, he passed it around well, but I think it's in the second half when perhaps Liverpool were getting into the game, could have got perhaps a little bit of dominance and got that chance and got ahead. He got the tackles in, he worked back, and for me, over the 90 minutes, a thoroughly deserved man of the match for Roy Keane, who's had an outstanding season for them.
Gary Neville is the final substitute for Manchester United. David Beckham has gone off. The injured player is John Barnes. We're now going to play the time allowed for the stoppages. It's Roy Evans' season to end without a trophy. Is Alex Ferguson's season to end thanks to the goal by Eric Cantona, with a status never previously enjoyed by a football club manager. Roy Keane, Trevor Brooking's choice as man of the match. Littlewood's man of the match, and the Littlewoods FA Cup going to Old Trafford. Clearance by Redknapp. Michael Thomas. Manchester United supporters encouraging the referee with a final whistle, and it is blown